I found it. I finally found it. I've heard about this for a long time, since sometime last year, and I finally found it. But now that I found it, I don't know if I want to talk about it. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about what it was supposed to be a movie, then I guess it was supposed to be a TV show. I had heard it was going to be on Amazon Prime, but it never made it to there, and it was... I even paid for the pilot. I PayPal'd for the pilot to this show. It was like $3 or $4 or $5, something like that, and PayPal actually got me a refund without me even asking, and then the website just kind of disappeared. But there's still a Twitter and a few other sources. But I could never find any signs of, other than a trailer, of this even existing. But I found it, and we're going to talk about it, and we'll probably talk about some other things as well. Because, boy, is there some discussions to be had when it comes to this. Today we're going to be talking about, I guess this will be the pilot episode of this. I don't even know if I can say the word without YouTube getting mad. Okay, what this show is about, and boy, does it give me more questions than answers. What this show is about, and bear with me because this is kind of crazy. We start off in present time, and the story's being narrated by, and forgive me if I don't remember names. I don't have any notes up or anything. But the story's being narrated by a neo-Nazi who's talking about how he had an abusive childhood with his mom, and now he still lives with his mom. And, you know, certain races aren't allowed around here, and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden he is basically kidnapped by three robed men, or women. They're pretty imposing. And they take him to this lake, and they throw him in. And then all of a sudden he comes out of the lake, and he's in an alternate universe. And let me just say this, he takes it awful well. He's in an alternate universe, and again, I'll talk about the questions that this poses. But he's in an alternate universe where instead of the whites taking the blacks as slaves, the blacks have taken the whites as slaves. And he gets picked up and sold to a very rich slave owner. And just like the derogatory N-word is used, was used in the past, and some unfortunately still use it today to talk about black people, the title of this show is thrown around like that word is towards white people. And anyway, he's in an alternate past somehow, and he takes it quite well because he isn't really just like, how did I get here? Other than he thinks people are wearing costumes for about 2 seconds. But then he gets captured and sold, and he gets to see a lesson being taught real quick, and unfortunately, I am going to spoil this, by the way. Look, if you really, really must see it, I will have the link in the description below to see the episode. I'd advise against it. So y'all just listen to me talk about it and be done with it. Anyway, so he gets to see a lesson being taught where one of the white slaves talks back to his master, and not only does he... boy, it's going to be hard to say some of this stuff without getting in trouble on YouTube. He gets... let's just say, assaulted by a rifle, and then his wife gets assaulted by another type of gun. We'll just say that. Anyway, so you know the show's off to a booming start. But anyway, then he gets a new name. It's kind of a Roots moment where, you know, they say, what's your name? And he says his name, and it's like, well, your name is this now, you know. Kind of like the Kunta Kinte Toby thing in Roots. Anyway, so then all of a sudden, one of the other slaves takes him to meet a black abolitionist who's like, we want you to fight with us. You're big and imposing. And could probably lead these people. I mean, it moves real fast. And he's like, and then he's basically saying, I'm not going to work for some inn. And and these people have never heard that word, or they seem like they've never heard the word. I mean, it does make sense. But then they think he's run away, and then they're going to kill one of the other slaves, but he comes back, and they say, well, you're going to learn a lesson. He has to fight one of the slave drivers, but he ends up beating the crap out of the slave driver. And then the episode ends with them putting a gun like to his head, and then that's pretty much it. It ends in a real weird cut to where it like just shows his face close up, and then it's over. And heck, even on this link I give you, the credits don't even finish. But that's pretty much the episode. Look, I don't know where the show was going to be going. Look, you can tell that it is the shoe's on the other foot now, isn't it? Right? Which, you know, for a character that is like a neo-Nazi, I mean, he's got Nazi tats and everything, and hates everyone but the white man. You could see in some ways that if he has like a lesson to learn by the end of the series, where he's a different person because of this, might work, but ultimately, I don't know where this was going, because without seeing any of the other episodes, knowing where the story is going to go, you don't know, like, again, there's lots of questions, and I'll tell you those questions here in a sec, but you don't know where the story's going to go, because the way they're setting it up, at least with this guy's story, they want him to fight the slave drivers, right? So is it going to be like a white empowerment movie, but he still learns that his way of thinking in the real world is wrong? It just, I don't know. I don't understand where this show is going to go, other than he's probably going to learn the lesson of, you know, well, if it you know, we thought it was right that it happened to them, but now that I've seen it happen to us, it's wrong. But still, you have this narrative of, you know, just hate doesn't bring anything but hate. And if I can't imagine that these white slaves would feel any differently than the black slaves for real, where they would have a resentment towards the other race. And again, I don't know where the show is going, or if it's even going to get to be finished. Because again, this thing was like a unicorn. It was hard to find. And even this one episode was hard to find. Is it going to ever show up somewhere? I don't know. Would I watch it? I don't know. But just for me, the questions that it asks, it's like, okay, how did we get here? They don't say that this is America. But if it is, did the black people from Africa come over and take over like the white people did in our wonderful history of this country? Did they go to Europe, or even maybe Australia whenever it was a prison colony? Did they take the white slaves from there? There's just so many questions of where we're at. You know, they don't really specify where they're anywhere. So it just asks, there's just so many questions I have about this, but in the end, I don't think it would work, because again, it would be the same as our real history. Resentment and hate would be bred from this. Again, you might have someone that's experienced the real world, you know, learn a lesson, maybe, but and they don't even explain how he got there, other than they threw him in water. Is it magic? Is he dreaming? I mean, granted, they may have revealed that later on. Again, too many questions. But I don't see how a show like this, if they're wanting it to help people realize that hate is wrong, I don't think this is the right way to go about it. Look, I'm sorry, it's not hard. It's not hard. just don't hate people. Look, there's plenty of reasons to dislike people. There's plenty of bad people out there, but hating someone because of the color of their skin, and I can even throw in because of the ways they want to live, you know, as long as they ain't hurting anybody, be cool, man. Look, if they ain't taking advantage of people or they aren't hurting people, let them live their life the way they want to live. You can believe what you want to believe, but you can't hate on somebody for the color of their skin. It makes no sense. We're all humans. You know, we may look differently on the outside, but, you know, what was the scene in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Morgan Freeman, where the little girl comes up and asks him, "Do go paint you?" And he's like, "Oh, most certainly." And she goes, "Why?" And he's like, "Because Allah likes wondrous variety." That line always stuck with me. It's like, God loves variety. You know, God don't love, you know, white people overall. God, if there is a God, loves everybody. But you know what? If there isn't a God, then we need to love each other. It's stupid to hate people because of the color of their skin. Look, I know normally I don't get like this on this channel, but I'm sick and tired of people hating each other for stupid reasons. Look, there's bad people out there, and there's plenty of people out there that are hating on people for no good reason whatsoever. Were they taught that way? Or are they just that way? I don't know. But for me, it's... Look, I don't claim to understand everything. I don't claim to get everything. But when it comes to people, I don't care who you are. If you're cool with me and you're cool with other people, then I'm going to be cool with you. And just people hating people because they're different than them, whether, again, it be color or gender or whatever. It never made sense to me. And I'm learning about things even right now. I'm getting old. You know, as Murtaugh said, I'm too old for this shit, right? But I'm still learning. You know, I'm meeting people now that are changing. You know, and it's a new experience for me. But you know what? Who the hell am I to tell them to live any differently? Are they hurting anybody? No? Well, then be yourself. And you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. But yeah, especially for anyone getting hate because they ain't white. Stupid. It's just stupid. And you know what? Look, getting back on this show, I do really would like to know where it was going to go. If it's even going to continue. As far as I know, it's just a pilot. I don't know if it'll get anywhere, but I am going to try to contact... I don't know if you can message this Twitter page or not, because ultimately that's how I found the pilot itself, was through the Twitter page. And again, I've pretty much spoiled it for you, and I don't recommend watching it, but if you are that curious, the link is in the description below. And I would like to know what their intentions for this show was, where it was going to go. But from what we've been given, I know they're trying to show the shoe on the other foot and show, you know, well, what if it was you instead of us? How would you like it? But again, it almost, in the end, even if the character learns something, it feels like hate breeding hate. And again, this character might get back to his real life and learn something and be a different person or whatever. But if this alternate world still exists, then, well, it's still a hellhole like our country. Especially the history of our country. Sorry, I'm not real proud of our history. I know they want us to be. And again, I don't like to get political on here, but, you know, we got people saying, well, our founding fathers wanted it this way. And it's like, well, our founding fathers had slaves, so, they weren't exactly the best of people. So, anyway, yeah, seeing this show just brought up a lot of things in me that it just made me, again, it wasn't the show itself, but it just, the message it was trying to portray was just like, well, if it was this way, then it would suck for you instead of for us. And look, again, I don't pretend to understand everything, but slavery was wrong from day one, and I've never felt differently. You know, hating people because the color of their skin's different. I've never felt differently other than we're all human beings. And I don't know. I don't think this show is going to have, if it gets released, which again, I heard Amazon was supposed to have it. And again, it just kind of disappeared. And I remember it was sometime last year, Brad Jones and I were looking for it. And I just sent it to him last night. And I was like, I found it. Part of me wishes I never did. Again, it's not even a well-made show. It's not a very well-intentioned show. You know, of course, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, you know, it's on the way. We're on the road to hell, I guess, if this show continues. Am I curious to where it was going to go? Sure. If I never find out, would I care? No. But I would like to know. I don't know if I'd want to watch a whole season to find out. I would probably just read some spoilers and be done with it, because I don't think I'd want to waste my time watching it again. But yeah, this show, for me, not worth watching. I hope I spoiled it for you and you don't watch it, but again, I want to share it for those. If you do, it is in the description. But yeah, this kind of show, it just felt like road to hell the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and hate breeds hate. It just seems like that kind of show. Again, is that the true intention of the filmmaker? I don't know. I'd like to know. It'd be interesting to talk to the creator. To see where they wanted to go with this, but would I want to watch this show? Not a chance in hell. See you later.